Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. Dale Carnegie. My friends, keep pushing forward. You can do this. Remember, in the end, as I've said quite often, it is a binary decision. Are things going up or down? Do you buy or not? Do you sell or not? Again, this just takes some effort. A few minutes, 10 to 15 is all we ask each and every day. Let's jump into these charts. We see everything down except bonds going up a little bit, about 1/4%. The S&P hammering down 1.19, only to be followed up even more by the NASDAQ, 2.03. Let's see where we are as we look at the weekly chart to start off. We have a green candle, a small one, not reaching the high of last week. Now again, we've had a couple of dojis in a row. We've had dojis and spinning tops along the way. We've had some weaknesses as this move has continued up, up, up. We only have one red candle, and that is a red doji 3 weeks ago. So again, let's just keep our eye on things. At some point, there's going to be enough catalysts. There's going to be an exogenous event. There's going to be something or things that are going to hammer this market down. Now, as we look at what started happening on Wednesday afternoon of last week, we can see where this market started to roll over, got a little bit of energy on Monday, but then rolling over strong on Tuesday, and is on this half-day chart trying to push through. It hasn't done it yet. Well, it sure is trying on that half day. We don't have a full candle through it yet. But in the afternoon, with that volume pushing down and penetrating, we see on the 2-day, this is the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It'll finish drawing tomorrow. It's sitting right there on it. And of course, we have just sitting right above it on the weekly chart. So, where does this lead us? Well, we are still long, but we are cautious. We are paying attention. We are watching what is happening. We are ready at the appropriate point to pull the trigger and go negative. Full bore bearish. But that hadn't happened yet. We're still watching, waiting, seeing, and we'll ride this gravy train as long as it goes. Now, we talk about a bigger pullback. Although it is percentage-wise, as we look at the candles, they don't look as pressing, particularly on the weekly. We're sitting there on it, but a little candle has a little more length to it. We see on the 2-day, we don't have all that red that we saw before, and we just have the wick pushing through on the half-day. I may have said 2-day, sorry, I'm looking at the half-day here. We look at the 2-day, it is sitting on the weekly trend line as per also the S&P is. So we'll continue to wait, watch, and see. Again, we've had big down days as we look back in time. We've had a few days of some down movement, so we'll just continue to watch. I mean, again, this market has been going up since late April. At some point, it will break, it will pull back, and we'll be there ready to pull that up trade and to look for a good opportunity to jump into a down move. And again, friends, what is the guy saying? Why wouldn't we just pull our money out and let the market go down and buy back in at the right time? That's true. You can do that. Now, again, I say all this with the caveats. We're not a stock calling, Bitcoin, gold, or bond calling service. We're an education firm. We always talk in the words of practice trading, because that's what we talk about here. But you can sure practice trade inverse funds, such as the inverse for the NASDAQ 100. Here's one of many. It's a single inverse, PSQ. Also, the inverse for the S&P 500. This is one of many, SH. It's a single inverse. We have inverse funds for all sorts of things. You have an inverse fund TBF. This is where we're going to next, which is 20-year U.S. government bonds, the inverse fund for that. Tango Bravo Foxtrot, I'll put that in for you. What is it? It's the ProShares 20-year plus short. It is the short of treasuries. And of course, you can see this week You got a green candle going up. Why? Because the underlying asset, that is 20-year U.S. government bonds, is going down. I'm going to put at the end of today's video our training on inverse funds, just so you can either refresh yourself with it or take it for the first time. It'll be at the end of today's video. It's not very long, but it's very helpful. It explains to you the ins and outs of inverse funds. They're not for everybody. They got some issues. The fees are higher. They revalue very quickly. They can magnify losses, but hell, they can also let you ride down by riding up. So again, nice little parachute and an updraft. So just something for you to potentially practice, see if you like it. Some people do, some people don't. Now, let's look at where we are on 20-year U.S. government bonds. They are up for the day 0.22%. You can barely see that on the half day down at the bottom. Not a lot of volume. We see a third red candle, not reaching a lower low yet. Although what we see, and we talked about this, we just had a complete breakout, snapping over, going red and below the trend line as this new week started. We can see where that move started last Wednesday, the 29th of October. You had a hammer down on Monday. Well, that's what it looks like as far as the candle starting off for the week. These are Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. Again, if you haven't taken our Heikin-Ashi candle training, take it. You can find it on the internet. Very popular, been taken by thousands of people. At the last count I saw, it was several 100,000. Anyway, it's a great training. I have an even better later one. I'll probably try to put that out tomorrow for you guys. The more recent Heikin-Ashi training. It's a good one too. It's good to understand it. I was talking about it yesterday. I talk about it quite often because Heikin-Ashi candlesticks are one of the cornerstones of what we do. That and volume are the real keys to what we use. So we see bonds settling down over this 2-day period, not moving down harder after things sort of hit that low on Monday morning. We haven't gotten back to that low yet. So we do have a big break. We have a lot of deceleration in bonds, and we'll see how that continues to go. Our probability of movement, again, not the greatest where bonds are right now. Let's look at where we are with gold. Gold pulling back big time today, 1.75%. That's not a surprise. We talked about how that gold up move snapped last week and how we had that downward pressure. And of course, it continues to play out. Not a lot of volume, though. You can see we've had average volume on Wednesday afternoon, the 29th. We got to then go back to the 27th for some average volume, then back to the 22nd. So again, volume you can see on the half-day chart has not been super great. On the weekly chart, again, when things started weakening, we saw how the volume started ticking down, and this week, 2 days in, weak. So we'll continue to keep an eye on gold. If we see volume really accelerating in those down moves, that'll tell us even more. Lastly, take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, once we broke that 2-week uptrend, Bitcoin has just slowly, had some acceleration that first week, sort of slowed down the second week, then a spinning top last week. But this week, and particularly today, boy, just jamming down 5.47%. So the luster's off Bitcoin right now, off gold right now. Stocks are weakening some. I mean, everything is weakening a lot. As this continues, if it continues to cascade, then of course, we'll be going short hard. So we'll see, my friends. Always love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, cw@chartingwealth.com. Patreon members, we sure appreciate you. You, of course, have already had sent out to you. We do that as soon as we can each and every day, sending you our 5-day plus trading analysis and execution plan on the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, 20-year bonds, gold, and our Bitcoin ETF, along with the trade execution summary grid. You can get a feel for what all that looks like on a daily basis by going to our Patreon page and checking out what's been put out in the past. We, of course, send out the most recent version to our Patreon members, then make it available the next day to the free subscribers, and then make it available the following day to everyone else. God bless, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Stay positive. You can do this.